students. Now this is a demonstration on the orbital cavity. Now orbital cavity, the opening we have already learned in the last video. That means superior margin of the orbit, the inferior margin or the supraorbital margin, infraorbital margin, then the lateral and the medial margin. We have already learned about the orbital cavity. Okay, this forms the base. Okay, base of the orbital cavity. So the orbital opening which is seen here is the base of the orbital cavity. Now if you see inside the orbital cavity, then you will realize that it is a four-sided pyramid. Okay, it is a four-sided pyramid. That means it has a base, which I said that this orbital opening is the base. Then deep lies the apex. Okay, so all the four walls, they converge, okay, posteriorly into a narrow area called as the apex. Okay, and apex is demarcated or identified with the presence of the optic canal opening, orbital opening of the optic canal. If you are able to see in this, let me try to see you the apex and the opening of the optic canal. Okay, it's not seen here anyway. Okay, optic canal opening. Just a minute. Okay, let me throw the light on this. There is an opening here, that is the optic canal opening, and that is the apex here. Okay, that is called as the apex. Okay, if you can see from this side in this orbit, yes, you can see this opening here, and that is the optic canal opening. So this is the apex. So there is an apex, there is a base, there is a roof. Okay, roof. There is a roof here and there is a floor, and then there is the medial wall, and then there is a lateral wall. So there is a base, there is apex, okay, there is a roof, there is the floor, the medial wall, and then this is the lateral wall of the orbital cavity. Okay, they are orbital cavity. Let us see the base. Okay, this orbital opening or the base, and this, as I said, has an supraorbital margin, an infraorbital margin, a lateral margin, and a medial margin, about which we have already learned about this. The base. Apex, I said, it is present narrow, present posteriorly, where there is the opening of the optic canal. Okay, there is opening through which will come the optic nerve and the ophthalmic artery inside the orbit. Okay, or the orbital cavity. Okay, so this was the apex. If you see the medial wall of the orbit, let us see the medial wall of the orbit, and the medial wall of the orbit is formed by the bones from anterior to posterior side. The first bone which is to form the medial wall is the frontal process of maxilla. This is maxilla, and this process which is going towards the frontal bone is called as the frontal process of maxilla. So this is frontal process of maxilla, which is anteriormost in the medial wall. Then will come a bone which is called as the lacrimal bone, and this lacrimal bone shows the presence of a lacrimal groove, okay, or lacrimal fossa. After this lacrimal bone, this bone which is seen here, okay, it is the orbital plate of ethmoid, orbital plate of ethmoid. And lastly, where you are seeing this orbital opening or the optic canal opening, in which I have just put the point of the pencil, okay, that is the body of the sphenoid. So after the orbital plate of ethmoid, it is the body of the sphenoid bone is seen. Okay, now in the lacrimal gland, as I said, there is a groove presented, and it is called as lacrimal groove. And in this lacrimal groove lies in the living condition a sac, membranous sac called as the lacrimal sac, where the lacrimal fluid gets collected before it get discharged into the nasal cavity. Now there is this orbital plate of the ethmoid bone, okay, orbital plate of ethmoid bone, okay, Then there is the presence of two foraminas. Okay, I will try to show you the two foraminas in the orbital plate on its superior border. This is the orbital plate in the medial wall, which is the larger area of the medial wall, is formed by this orbital plate of ethmoid bone. And there are the presence of two foramina, an anterior ethmoidal foramina, and then there is a posterior ethmoidal foramina. So two foraminas are there, an anterior and posterior. Just now the tip of the pencil is in the posterior ethmoidal foramina, if you are able to see it. And then this was the anterior ethmoidal foramina. This is the anterior ethmoidal. They are on the upper border of the orbital plate of the ethmoid. Through this foramina comes out the anterior and posterior ethmoidal nerves and vessels. Anterior goes posterior ethmoidal, okay, anterior and posterior ethmoidal nerves and vessel, okay. Now then, after this medial wall of the orbit, let us come to the superior wall, which is the roof, okay. Just I am showing you the superior wall here, and superior wall, as it is formed by that of the orbital plate of the frontal bone, okay, orbital plate of the frontal bone. But if we trace it more posteriorly, a small part of this is also formed by the lesser wing of the sphenoid, okay. It is quite deep inside, and like, yes, something is seen here. Lesser wing of the sphenoid, where the orbital foramina is present, and just surrounding to the it, and then laterally, running laterally. See this in this is the lesser wing of the sphenoid. So most posteriorly placed is the lesser wing of the sphenoid is present. So this is the roof here, okay. And roof, as I said, is the orbital plate of the frontal bone. So this is the frontal bone, and this horizontal plate which is forming roof is called as the orbital plate of the frontal bone. And most posteriorly this foramina is seen, and just lateral to it, it is the lesser wing of the sphenoid. This is the opening of the optic canal, okay. Now then, anteromedially there is the presence of a trochlear fossa. Anteromedially means in the roof, okay, most anteriorly and to the medial side of the roof, there is a pit is present. See this pit, and this pit is the trochlear fossa, okay. This is called as the trochlear fossa, which gives attachment to a pulley of the superior oblique muscle, okay. This pulley is gives attachment to the pulley, and the pulley gives around which comes out the superior oblique muscle, okay, winds around the pulley, and that tendon of superior oblique muscle goes then posterolaterally from this pulley. Then on the anterior and lateral side there is a deep fossa, okay. Anterolateral side of the roof there is a deep fossa, okay, where I am putting my finger. See this point, okay. There is a deep fossa, and this deep fossa is called as the lacrimal fossa, where there is the lodgement of the lacrimal gland. So lacrimal gland lodges here into the anterolateral part of the this roof, and anteromedial part there is the attachment of the pulley, okay. There is a pit or depression which gives attachment, which is called as trochlear fossa, which gives attachment to the pulley. It gives attachment to that of the pulley, okay. After this, let us come to the in this lateral wall, okay. So we have just covered the roof, okay, and on the lateral wall, if you see this lateral wall and try to just put the lateral wall here, okay, yes, you can see some of this part of the lateral wall is seen. This is the lateral wall here, and this lateral wall is formed by the zygomatic bone. The greater part of it is formed by the zygomatic bone, and then posteriorly it is formed by another bone which is called as the greater wing of the sphenoid. I am just pointing this greater wing of the sphenoid with the tip of the pencil. So this is greater wing of the sphenoid, and anteriorly it is zygomatic bone which forms the lateral wall of the orbit. Okay, lateral wall of the orbit. Let us come to the inferior wall or the floor of the orbit. Okay, inferior wall or the floor of the orbit is here. See this part is the inferior wall or the floor, and this inferior wall is formed by two bones again. Medially it is the maxilla. Okay, this is the maxilla, and in a little part it is also formed by the zygomatic bone, but most of the area is formed by that of the maxilla. Okay, the maxilla is the main bone responsible for forming the this floor, okay, for our inferior wall. So we have learned that is the orbital opening or the base of the orbit here. Then we have learned the apex of the orbit, which is present in the body of the sphenoid, where there is opening of the optic canal is located here. And then we have also learned about the roof, about the floor, about the medial wall, and about the lateral wall of the orbit. Okay, lateral wall of the orbit. Let us come to some of the fissures, canals and foramina of this cavity. Okay, there are two fissures at least present here. Superior orbital fissure, which is sometimes also called as supraorbital fissure. Yes, it is seen. Now just I will put the tip of my pencil here in the supraorbital fissure. This fissure, just it is infralateral to this optic canal opening. Now you can see the optic canal opening very well, and just lateral to and inferior to this there is a small black area seen, which is a fissure called as the supraorbital fissure. And this supraorbital fissure is present between roof and the lateral wall. See that? This is the roof here, this is the lateral wall is here. See this is the lateral wall, and this is, so in between the lateral wall and roof, a small supraorbital fissure is present. Okay. Now, if you see the boundary of this superior orbital or supraorbital fissure, then it is medially bounded by the body of the sphenoid. Okay, so the widest part of this will be bounded most medially, and it is the body of the sphenoid. Above it is bounded by this lesser wing of the sphenoid. So just lateral to this for optic canal opening, whatsoever bone is seen above this orbital fissure is nothing but the lesser wing of the sphenoid. Okay, and just below and lateral, this we have already seen in the lateral wall. This part is called as the greater wing of the sphenoid. That means most of the part of this superior orbital fissure, it lies between the greater wing and the lesser wing. Lesser wing is above and medial, and the below and lateral it is the greater wing of the. So this is the greater wing of the sphenoid is here. Okay, this is greater. Okay, so this is the superior orbital fissure, and this superior orbital fissure, which you can see very well here now, okay, this gives passage to many structure, many nerves and artery. The nerves are the third, fourth and the sixth cranial nerve. Okay, that means the oculomotor, trochlear and the abducent nerve, which passes through superior. Then there are the arteries. Okay, they also pass the veins, they also pass. Ophthalmic vein passes through the superior orbital fissure. Now, if you see the inferior orbital fissure, the second fissure is the, which will be real difficult for me to show you. Let me try to show you the inferior orbital fissure. Look, let us see in this, because light is coming from this side. This was the superior orbital fissure, and here you are seeing this where I am putting my pencil. This is the inferior orbital fissure. See this? This is the inferior. It is continuity in the above with the superior orbital fissure, and below it is the inferior orbital fissure. Now let us see the boundary of this inferior orbital fissure. Okay, it is present between the lateral wall and the floor. See, this is the lateral wall. Okay, this is the right orbit and this is the floor. In between this gap is the inferior orbital fissure is here. Yes, better seen now. This is the inferior orbital fissure is seen here. Okay. Now, if you see the boundary of this inferior orbital fissure, the greater wing of the sphenoid is bounding it above and to the lateral side because it is forming the lateral wall. So, this is that greater wing of the sphenoid, and this is founding a boundary of this fissure above and to the lateral. See, this fissure is now well seen here, above and to the lateral side. But below and medially it is bounded by the maxilla. Okay, it is below and medially, that is floor. It is in the floor. As I said, this fissure is between lateral wall and floor. Medially it is bounded by the floor. It is bounded. Okay, communication of this, it communicates, okay. The inferior orbital fissure will communicate posteriorly with the infraorbital fossa. Okay, I mean to say this will communicate posteriorly with the pterygopalatine fossa. Okay, pterygopalatine fossa and infratemporal. If I just turn this from orbit and will go in this side, okay, this is the pterygopalatine fossa here where I am putting the pencil. Okay, this is the pterygopalatine fossa. So it will communicate with the pterygopalatine fossa. Okay, and it also communicate with this hollow structure here, this space here, and this is called as the infratemporal fossa. So the infraorbital fissure communicates with the infratemporal fossa and pterygopalatine fossa, and this infraorbital fissure gives passage to a nerve, and this nerve is called as the maxillary nerve. Okay, it gives passage to the maxillary nerve, okay, and the zygomatic nerve. So this is the infraorbital fissure. Now, if you trace on the floor this infraorbital fissure, then we will come to a canal, and that is called as the infraorbital groove, and then it will be canal, and this canal will open here into the infraorbital foramina on the face, and if you pass a wire here, this will go into the canal called as in the floor infraorbital canal, and this posteriorly will continue with the fissure or a groove which will communicate with the infraorbital fissure. Okay, a groove, infraorbital fissure. So this is the infraorbital canal, and it is present into the maxilla. And this is on the floor, it is present, and it opens into the infraorbital foramina, okay, which gives passage to the infraorbital nerves and vessel here. So, okay, then if you see the optic canal which I was showing you, the opening of the optic canal, again let me try to show you this rounded structure is nothing but the optic canal, okay, the orbital opening of the. Now this is at the apex of the orbital cavity at its junctions of the roof and the medial wall. So this foramina which you are seeing is at the junction of the roof, and this is the medial wall. It is located here. It's well seen here now, okay, at the junction of this. Seen it here. This is the optic canal. Now it is bounded medially by the body of the sphenoid. So this is on medial side of this is the body of the sphenoid is here, okay. And if you will see laterally, it is the lesser wing of the sphenoid which we already seen, forming the upper boundary of the superior orbital fissure. So just lateral to this canal or opening, here you are seeing that small triangular piece of bone above the superior orbital fissure is the lesser wing of the sphenoid. Now this optic canal communicates with the middle cranial fossa, okay. It will communicate with the middle cranial fossa, and through this will come out the optic nerve, ophthalmic artery, and the meninges. These structures are covered by dura mater, arachnoid, and pia mater, that is optic nerve. And inside this optic canal, okay, this is surrounded by a fibrotendinous ring. it is surrounded by, and this fibrotendinous ring will give origin to the various muscle, extraocular muscle, which will go and gets attached onto the sclera of the eyeball. Okay, so these surrounding to this optic canal. Okay, and to the partly to the superior orbital fissure too. Now lastly, what we have to see that, okay, the foramina, and these are anterior and posterior ethmoidal foramina, which I have already tried to show you, the anterior and posterior. Let me try once again to show you. And this is on the upper border of the this orbital plate of ethmoid, which forms the medial wall. This I will just passing this, I mean say putting my tip of the pencil in the anterior ethmoidal foramina in the medial wall. Okay, this is anterior ethmoidal foramina, and just posterior to it this foramina. Let me pass it. Yes, this foramina. Okay, yes, this is the posterior ethmoidal foramina. So anterior and posterior. I think if you can zoom this little bit, I think it will be better seen. Anterior and posterior ethmoidal foramina on the superior border of the orbital plate of the ethmoid, which form the major part of the medial wall of the orbit. And through these two ethmoidal foramina will pass the anterior and posterior ethmoidal nerves and vessels, and they will go to the, where they will go? They will go to the anterior cranial fossa. I hope that some of the part I was able to show you of this orbit, okay, because it is so deeply situated, okay, and it is difficult for the light to go. But here you have seen the superior orbital fissure, you have seen the optic canal opening, you have seen the inferior orbital fissure. Okay, this was the inferior orbital fissure. You have seen the anterior and posterior ethmoidal foramina. You have seen the infraorbital opening, okay, into the canal. Okay, that was the infraorbital canal. Let me show you some of this point in these two diagrams from the atlas, and this is again the atlas of the anatomy by Gilroy, published by Thieme. Okay, and I'm thankful for them for using you to show you this walls of the orbit. Okay, if you can see the walls of the orbit in this, you can see this is the medial wall is seen here. Okay, just zoom it. Okay, let me zoom it. You can see the medial wall of the orbit here. You can see this bone is this is the frontal process of maxilla, which forms the medial wall. This is the lacrimal bone, okay, and this is the lacrimal groove, and then this is the this orbital plate of ethmoid, where anterior and posterior ethmoidal foramina are seen near its upper border. So this is that medial wall of the orbit. Above this medial wall is formed by that of the frontal bone. Okay, it is formed by that of the frontal bone. Let us see the other wall. If you can see in this diagram, okay, yes, you can see probably this is the lateral wall. Okay, this is the lateral wall. This is the greater wing of the sphenoid. This is that optic canal, and this is the superior orbital fissure. Above it is the frontal bone. This is the greater wing, and here just above the margin of the superior orbital fissure, this is that lesser wing of the sphenoid. Okay, this is the lateral wall anteriorly is also formed by the zygomatic bone. So the frontal bone, zygomatic, and greater wing of the sphenoid. The floor will not be able to be seen here. This is the infraorbital fissure. This is this one. It was the fissure is here, and this is the medial wall of the orbit, which is not seen. Okay, which I have shown you from the other diagram. So you have seen a part of the medial wall, part of the roof, part of the floor, part of the lateral wall, optic canal, and superior and inferior orbital fissure. You have seen from this diagram. Thank you very much for watching this video on the orbit. Okay.